What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are continuing our Spooktober event. Today, we are looking at one of my favorite authors and one of my favorite stories also. I feel like I say that a lot, but this is true. I love this story. I love this author. We are looking at Jeff Lemire's Sweet Tooth. All right, so first off, I am looking at the 3 Deluxes, which are no longer readily available. At least a couple of the volumes are pretty heavily out of print and hard to find. But what's cool about it is that there is a show on Netflix, Sweet Tooth, and it's awesome. I haven't even gotten to finish it yet, but it's so far so good. But because of the show, they reprinted the entire story in a trade paperback compendium that is available on organicpricebooks.com. You can use the code Omnibuddy for $2 off every order, including that order for the compendium. So get on that. It is awesome. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at Jeff Lemire's Sweet Tooth. All right, so here is Jeff Lemire's Sweet Tooth. This is book 1. We have book 2 and book 3. Pretty sweet covers, really uniform and nice. I can always appreciate that. There is a shot of the spines. This is DC Vertigo imprint. Here is the back of volume 1, I think. Yep, volume 1. Here is the back of volume 2. And here's the back of volume 3. These do retail for $29.99 US. Like I said, they are mostly out of print everywhere unless you get lucky and find them, but you can get the compendium, which has all 3 volumes for you online. So let's get started with this. Let me put these off to the side. So let's get the cover or dust jacket off. Has this really cool flannel thing going on. Really cool, really nice. End sheets, and this is written and drawn by Jeff Lemire, and it is oh so glorious. I am a huge fan of Jeff Lemire's watercolor kind of style, so big yes for me. Cool forward, and I love these. They're matte pages, not glossy, so that's awesome. Very heavy, or at least pretty heavy, so it doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. Really nice paper quality, really nice bind quality. Here, let me show you. These have been read once or I think twice, so they're a little bit tight. They tend to snap shut, but they are definitely sewn, imprinted, or sewn, yeah. Anyways, so it tells the story of Gus, and he is living in a cabin with his dad, who's kind of a religious zealot, and his dad pretty quickly passes away, and Gus has always been stuck in this cabin as long as he can remember, and has been told not to wander off or anything like that. And as you can see, Gus is a wee bit different from a normal human being. He's not quite human, but you kind of figure out what's going on pretty quickly. This is a post-apocalyptic, I wouldn't necessarily call it a full horror, but it definitely has some pretty horror central aspects to it, and it's definitely got some pretty heavy topics in it too, with kids, prostitution, things like that. So Gus is told never to leave his cabin. He obviously eventually does, pretty quickly after his father passes away. Slight spoiler, but that happens pretty quickly. And then he meets some people as he leaves, and you're always trying to figure out who's good and who's bad, and what everyone is their motivations and motives are, and if people are really actually trying to help him or use him or anything like that. It is a crazy story, full of twists and turns and plot twists, and At points, it jumps back in time and kind of explains what the some motivations of a major character in it. Obviously, it's Jeff Lemire, so there is hockey in it. And if there wasn't hockey in it, it wouldn't be Jeff Lemire. So I guess there's a couple stories he tells that don't have hockey in it. But for the vast majority, he always finds a way to get his hockey into things. As you can see, it gets pretty gruesome at times. As a dad, it was kind of rough reading with some of the kids' stuff and experimentation, because what happens basically is you find out about that part of the apocalypse is this disease wiping out humans, but these hybrid kids who were born from humans are immune, and everyone is dying, and they think that these hybrid kids have some sort of immunity that they can use to keep themselves, heal themselves, and come up with a cure and for that disease and plague wiping out the world and all the humans. Each book has some great stuff at the end, extras in there. I love it when you see these blue pencils and then the light pencils and inks going on top and building it, and some extra stuff in there about it. So awesome. Love this. And such cool character designs with these human animal hybrids. And oh man, some of the story. So we will jump over to 2. I probably won't show 3 because I don't want to spoil the end or anything like that. Each book does have that plaid look to it. And these stories pick up right one after another. So I'll be very curious to see where Sweet Tooth: The Return, which has been coming out, and I think it's actually done, if not almost done. I'll be very excited to see how that comes to play and ties in with the story, because the story does wrap up really well. It's very satisfying ending. Jumps forward a little bit to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. But like I said, some of the stuff is just absolutely heartbreaking with what they do to these half human, half hybrid human animal. Some of them are feral because they've just been raised not humanely and just treated horribly during this apocalypse. It's described as, kind of a Mad Max meets Bambi by a lot of people, which very apropos. Gus is starting off as this very innocent Bambi. He's got the antlers and everything. He's a innocent fawn, and then he's thrown, he's a little Bambi, and he's thrown into this world of Mad Max, really, this post-apocalyptic, everyone for themselves awfulness. Of course, Lemire loves doing some of these turns and showing off some stuff like this. Works pretty well. I don't know that it's fully necessary, especially in this book. I know he does it a lot with like Trillium, where you're turning the book all over the place and you read it one way and then you flip the book upside down and read it the other way. This isn't totally necessary, but it is fun to mix things up and see what creators do with things. And obviously he does some really cool stuff with art and panel breakups and things like that. Really cool stuff. I forgot about her. Anyways, it is a really, really cool story. It has a lot of heart in it. It's hard to read because of just how some of these hybrid people are treated, and they're so human even though they're hybrids, and there's so much emotion in it. And Gus is such a wonderful character. The motivations are deep on everyone's parts, and it's not really very shallow on anything, really. I love this story. I know I read somewhere Jeff Lemire wasn't happy with this story, that he felt rushed with it. So I'm excited that he has The Return coming out, that he can do some of those things too. But I think this is one of his best stories ever. Absolutely love Essex County and Underwater Welder. Those are probably my top Lemire stories, but this is probably my third place. So that is it. That's a quick look. I'm not going to show you book 3 because it would spoil too much. There we go. All right, so that is a quick look at Jeff Lemire's Sweet Tooth, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Absolutely loved this series. I am so excited because with the Netflix series coming out in November 2020, I think it was, Jeff Lemire came back with The Return of Sweet Tooth and is doing that, and I cannot wait to read that and for it to be collected because it looks and sounds awesome. I haven't been able to get into that, so when that comes out in a collected edition, I will definitely, most definitely review that. But anyways, remember the compendium's available on Organic Price Books. You can use promo code Omnibuddy for $2 off that order and every other order that you want to use. But important thing, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all those things. But comment, what are you reading? What are you loving? Have you read Sweet Tooth? What do you like about it? Have you read The Return? Don't spoil it for me, but have you read it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. All right, that's it. Take care. Stay safe.